Let this game be a lesson. Nobody beats the New York Jets 14 times in a row. What a game. Unbelievable. The Jets will not go 0-16. There will only be 2 0-16 teams in NFL history, since next year it'll go to 0-17 if you were to lose out with the extra game. So congratulations to the Jets for not adding themselves to that list. Let's start off with this play. It's going to be 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I'm just going to sort of break down the ending portion of this game. I want to talk about the Rams drive right here, because they started off the drive just outside of field goal range. So great situations right now. LA is going to start off with this play. It's a play they like to run a good amount, where they're going to have a receiver flash over to the right side of Jared Goff. And basically the hope is that you get the New York Jets player who I have a black line going towards. Hopefully he runs in because he has a straight shot to Goff. But then you can simply have your two players run out, block the other two New York players in that area, and then, the play action can help get everyone else out of position, and you can just flip it to a receiver, pick up a first down just like that, get in field goal range. That's the ideal situation. However, notice that I've circled a player. That's Blessuan Austin, who is number 31, and he's had a very up and down season for the Jets. Most players on the Jets haven't had a totally up season, given that they haven't won. And so he's playing man coverage right now against the player who's going to end up getting the ball. So he's the key guy in this one, and if he gets a little bit fooled, it could result in a disaster. Instead, the second Goff takes the snap, he immediately gets over to Goff's right, and now he's in perfect position to make this tackle. But again, as we've seen, there's a difference between being in perfect position to make a tackle and actually making the tackle. It can be very difficult sometimes, especially in a situation like this, so he has to make an immediate tackle. However, that's going to be exactly what he does, just barely, but still makes the play. Great job by Austin there, and you get a tackle just like that, and now it's going to be a 2nd down and 10. So then this play would happen where the Jets are going to be in zone, and for the Rams, they're going to just try and make it a convertible 3rd down situation. They have an underneath route, make that throw. Maybe you could even break a tackle, get a first down. This makes sense. I see the logic behind it. Nothing too fancy. LA converts it. You kind of expected them to. No big deal. You're able to get 6 yards, and now you're going to set up a 3rd down and 4 situation, which you would really like to convert here. For the Jets, what are they doing in this situation? Well, Greg Williams might not be here, but his spirit still is. They're blitzing. Cover 1 blitz, though, so not quite cover 0. There is a safety deep. And for the Rams, they have a concept that's designed to beat man coverage. It's going to be basically a design towards Cam Akers, where you have a receiver run out, kind of get in the way of the linebacker who's in charge of covering Akers. Akers runs along the sideline, and you just hope that your halfback is faster than an opposing linebacker. That linebacker is going to be Neville Hewitt, who's actually had a pretty decent season for the Jets, all things considered, and he's going to make a great play on this one. So as you see, Goff takes the snap, and it's actually a pretty good job by LA, but Hewitt just does a really good job of reading this play quickly and making sure he gets around the picks, so that way he's still going to be in position to be able to take away Akers. Goff makes the throw downfield. It wasn't a great throw regardless, but it would have had to be an absolutely perfect throw for that to be a completion. Just really good coverage. And now it's a 4th down and 4. Decision time for LA. They could go for it. They could kick a 55-yard field goal, but they're going to elect to go for it here. I actually like the call to go for it, and I like the play call that's going to come up. What I hate is going to be Jared Goff's decision on this play. So this is the play. It's man coverage, cover 1 man, exact same play as last time. And so for Goff, you basically just look around and try and figure out what's your best route on this one. What's the better situation you have going for you? And what he has going on his right, there's a lot of good here. The 3 players in that area it's going to be Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, and Gerald Everett. So Cooper Kupp is the one who I've circled in white, Robert Woods is circled in blue, and then Everett is the one who isn't circled. He's the one who's standing on the line. And so he's running deep, and since Woods is going to run deep but over the middle, Woods will take away the safety, and it will be a one-on-one matchup with Everett. But I think that just the issue is that he's going to be going up against Marcus Maye, who's actually had a really good season for the Jets. He's probably their best player, so I think that I would want to avoid him in this situation. You also have Cooper Kupp running a great route against man coverage against Austin. That's a very favorable matchup, and to me, that has to be the read right here. It'll get you 4 yards, and that's what you need. Goff takes the snap, he looks deep, and, in fairness to Goff, this isn't a horrible read in itself. I think there's a much better option on the play, which is why I don't love it. But the play itself can still work. And you see there is some outside leverage. So Maye is going to have to make a pretty good play here. But that's kind of what he's done all season for the Jets. He's a good player, and he's been surrounded by not a great team, but he is good, and he is someone who, if you try him, he can take advantage. As you see, he leaps up, he knocks it away, they get the ball back, but it's not over yet. There was enough time, and LA had a couple of timeouts left. So, good job, you got the ball back, now you have to finish. So, their offense would get the ball. Frank Gore ran for a first down, and then a crucial 3rd down and 6 would happen. So a bit to unpack here. Here's the play, and here's how it's supposed to work for the Jets. They're going up against man coverage, and to have a little rub route that can do well against man, you basically have a receiver run in motion from Darnold's right to his left. He can then sort of get open. You have another receiver who can try and get in the way of whoever's in charge of covering him. That's how this works. It can be effective, and it's a pretty low-risk, high-reward type play. It probably won't result in a turnover or anything, so worst-case scenario, you punt and just hope that you can stop the Rams one more time. However, the clear issue here is going to be what I have in that white box right over the middle of the field where you see an LA linebacker and defensive back. And the issue here is it seems like these guys just don't understand the rules of their own system on this play. As you see on the screen, I say that it shows the linebacker is in charge of covering the wide receiver who's in motion. Obviously, that's not how the play started, right? So typically what most teams do is have the defensive back who's in charge of covering that receiver just follow him to the other side of the field. But what you can do is simply have him switch assignments with the linebacker who's already over the middle of the field. So that way the linebacker covers the receiver and you have a defensive back over the middle of the field. And while it's a bit of a mismatch, it gives you better positioning. So some teams like to do that. But also worth noting is that this is a blitz right now. So that means that there isn't really someone in charge of covering the middle of the field entirely. The player whose job that is has to make sure they watch Frank Gore. They have to make sure that if Frank Gore runs a route, then they cover him. And if he blocks, well then that's fine. You just play coverage. That's what I believe the rules are going to be on this play. But once the ball is snapped, both guys run over to try and block the concept that, in fairness, this play was designed to go towards for the New York Jets. But Darnold, give him some credit. He notices this. He's looking in that direction, and I think that the Sam Darnold of years past would have thrown it in that direction. But he realizes this play's probably not great. He realizes there's a lot of guys over there, and so that must mean there's not too many defenders somewhere else. The second Frank Gore gets open, he knows it. Look at how high he put his hands up. They get the first down, and that's it. That's the ball game, because that put it past 2 minutes. The Rams have no timeouts left, and the New York Jets have won a football game in 2020. It's an awesome feeling for them. You know, I know you can talk about the draft all you want, and I get it. If you're a Jets fan, you probably want Trevor Lawrence. That's one of the good things you can have about a really disappointing season. But if you think about it from the players and the coaches' perspective, they've basically been a laughingstock of the league this entire season. And for them to finally get that win, and for them to be able to say, you know what, we're not the worst. You can say what you want about us, but there's been 2 teams that have gone 0-16. We don't have a 0 at the front of our record anymore, and that's got to be a pretty awesome feeling for them. I would imagine it would be. And hey, you know, you're going to get a good draft pick regardless. The draft's a total crapshoot anyways. It's not the end of the world by any means. And also, look at Frank Gore's reaction after it. You can tell he's so happy. He didn't want to go out like that. He didn't want to go out 0-16, and now he won't. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to the Jets. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know what you thought of this wild upset in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. I'll certainly be talking about this game more on my podcast at midnight, so check that one out on this YouTube channel. And as always, thanks for watching.